Hey, what's up, y'all? Um, so this is the first video of second video of 2023. Um, so I thought I'd redo my video on conspiracy theories and paranormal, because I didn't really like it. I don't know why I thought that was okay. It was, excuse me, it was not that great. I was tired when I made that video, and so I wanted to recreate that video as I am now. And also kind of touch on some things that I possibly missed. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I like to say first off, when it comes to conspiracies and the paranormal, I have never believed in that crap, like at all. It's all because it truly is all just bunk. Especially like I especially do not believe any political conspiracy theories and whatnot, because those are not only are they a lot of them are bunk, but a lot of them are just pure chaos and stupidity. I'm not gonna get into it. So I want to talk about a few things that I was gonna go over. So I'm gonna be talking about ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot slash chupacabra type of stuff, and then I wanted to cover some conspiracy theories, what I think of them, like um, people who claim to be time travelers, flat earthers, and yeah, we'll go from there. So first off, ghosts. So the belief on ghosts is the believing that people can communicate with the deceased. People who believe that when you die, you become a ghost and you stick around. Well, I'm making this video, and obviously that's not true. Not just from a belief perspective, but my belief perspective, but just in general, that would suck if you stuck around in this life as a ghost. It'd be pretty miserable. The theory is that you can communicate with the dead, and of course you got all these ghost hunters who bring out all this gear. So why do I think it's fake? Well, because a lot of the stuff, all the stuff I'm covering regarding conspiracy theories and the paranormal, it's all fake, and I'll explain why by going through each of the equipment. So some of the equipment they use one of the pieces of equipment they use is a dot light or dot light map or whatever it's called. It creates a whole bunch of dots of light upon a surface. And if you see something go through it, supposedly you know that, hey, there's something there. This one is fairly obvious to me on how these type of ghost shows and whatnot, ghost hunting crap is fake. Because a lot of times when you do supposedly see, again, I'm gonna say this a lot, but when you supposedly see something, it's usually like 99% of the time it's because they're doing some sort of editing. A lot of time it could just not be editing, it could just be taking advantage of malfunctions of things. For this example, when you supposedly see something in the dot lights, I think the reason behind that is either the dot light is programmed from a trigger to make it look like something is in the lighting. It's editing, which again could possibly be most. I think actually is probably most of how a lot of this crap is faked. Or I think it could be someone, I don't know, some sort of editing in the sense of someone wears like a green morph suit and they look invisible on camera because they edit it out. The next thing is EMF. This one's another ridiculous one. EMF stands for electromagnetic fields. The process behind a EMF device is supposedly if there's a supposed change in the electromagnetic field, there's a ghost. Again, a complete and utter bunk. It's not true. Yes, we have electromagnetic fields here on Earth. The Earth as it's um, orbiting, as it's rotating, it creates electromagnetic fields, and they do fluctuate from time to time as the Earth rotates, and all the fun stuff regarding the tilt of the Earth and what have you. People seem to make it seem like, oh, there's a dramatic change in EMF, there's a ghost here. No, the again, the electromagnetic field will change. Just it will just change. It does its own thing. There's nothing we can really do to do anything about it. It's a way of the Earth. It's just a natural thing that happens, and people take there are hotspots for electromagnetic fields. Obviously, some are going to be higher than others, but that's only because that's just I don't know. Maybe that's just where the electromagnetic fields are just more highly concentrated or something. I'm not, like some professor or professional on this stuff, but it's pretty simple common sense. The third thing when it comes to ghosts, and probably the final one for ghosts, and the one that I think is probably the absolute stupidest, is the voice box. The voice box supposedly is a device where you can supposedly directly talk with the ghosts. This one is fairly straightforward. There's tons of ways this can be faked. I'm thinking it's either a sense of a system. It's a system that takes what it hears around it, kind of jumbles it up, and then makes it seem like you're talking to a ghost. Someone is probably either like they have someone else supposedly maintaining all the equipment, and they're feeding all this information to the spirit box to make it seem like, oh, it's a ghost. No, it's just someone feeding information from, I don't know, their base or truck, whatever. Or I think the most likely is because if you actually listen to it, a lot of the times you'll hear like snippets of like music and whatnot. So part of me thinks that it could also be that they're taking advantage of radio waves and kind of taking those and kind of jumbling them up and make it seem like you're talking to a ghost. You say a name, you have a pre-made name, or there's a name that you name that's on the radio. Either way, it'll take it, jumble up, make it seem like, oh, Mark, or something. Or Dave, or Edwin, or Marissa, or it's some sort of feedback system, or some sort of feedback loop system that takes stuff around it and just jumbles it up. So the next category, aliens. Now this one for me is probably the most absurd, especially with the time that I was living in. And I think it was in like 2018. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But I remember when I was in junior high. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was junior high. There was the whole Area 51 crazy stupidity. Because people thought that was a good idea. It was not. The whole, there's aliens in Area 51. Let's raid it. It's a military base. Let's raid it. Yeah, don't do that. Period. Don't raid military bases. That's a good way to get shot, killed, and or arrested. Not in that order, but you know what I mean. You don't do that. Like, millions of people supposedly signed up to go to that, and only like, I think a million or a few 100,000 or something like that only showed up, which proves that people know that it's just nonsense. So people believe that aliens are real. These mysterious creatures that are from another planet. I do not. I do believe there are other humans out there. From a religious perspective, I do think God made other people, like you and me, humans. Do I think we're going to be able to interact with them anytime soon? No, not at all. I do think God did create other worlds with other human life. But not these malformed alien creatures that everyone seems to think from sci-fi and all this. So do I think there's actual life out there? Yes. Do I think we'll ever come in contact with them? No. Sadly, no. Unless, of course, we have some breakthrough in technology and we can make, all the ships from sci-fi stuff like Star Wars and Star Trek and whatever other sci-fi series. Unless we have some sort of breakthrough, which is very, very, very low, but then again, it is possible. Then no, I don't think we're going to come in contact with any of the other humans that do live in the universe. Now, yes, we would consider them alien. We would consider them alien if they came to us, and other people would consider us alien if we came to them. Because the term alien is that you're not from there. So, yeah. So a lot of this stuff is like the supposed alien spotting or whatever is supposed images, videos, and what have you. Supposedly conspiracies on, I worked on this, that, and the other. So I'll get to that in a second because that's absurd. So when it comes to video and pictures, it is probably the most easiest thing to fake. You take a object, throw it in the air, you take a picture, or heck, you don't even need to do it. You can just Photoshop it in, add some blur effects, all the fancy stuff and editing, and voila. Like, seriously, even I could go into Photoshop, probably not now because I'm very, very rusty. I need to relearn all of my stuff on Photoshop because I forgot everything. But if I knew all that stuff, even with all the basics, I could probably just go into Photoshop, find a picture of some desert, and I could Photoshop a supposed UFO. It's not hard to do. Now, video technology, no, I don't have any fancy cameras. I mean, I'm recording this from a flippin' laptop. But when I do, progress my YouTube career, I do hopefully want to get better cameras, obviously, and do more vloggy stuff and explore the world and all the usual YouTuber stuff. But that's not the point. Like if I had like actual video equipment, I would have the technology and knowledge of how to edit. And the same thing, I could just go into video editing and just edit. So, look, a mysterious UFO, and just it's not hard. None of it's hard to do. People also claim crap from like military, like supposedly claiming that because it comes from military stuff, it's legit, and that's all. That's also where the whole Area 51 crap came through. It's like just no. It's kind of the same aspect. Either someone doctored the footage, or it's just someone either doctored the footage, some sort of issue with the camera that caught the footage, or it's just something that just we didn't know. We didn't know what it is. It could have been a bird, could have been another plane, jet, whatever. It's not aliens. Now coming to my favorite part about aliens, people who claim that they worked on the UFOs on military bases, or what they worked on them, or some alien technology. We all know that's clear bull. Okay. Because it seriously, you have people who make these claims. It's like two things come to mind. Either one, it's just like if aliens were real, let's just say if they were, and you did supposedly work on these technologies, I think the government would take it two ways. The first way would be if the government really didn't want people knowing about alien technology, and then supposedly someone said, I worked with aliens. It would work out two ways if aliens were supposedly real. One, the government would say, okay, yeah, you caught us, we have aliens. And then maybe you'd have more video coverage of the people, going to science facilities and people doing experimentation on the aliens if they were real and all this, questioning, talking to them, blah blah blah. Heck, we might even there'd be some dramatic footage of aliens finally released from lab to get what it's like to live the human life, just so they can learn and then use that knowledge to learn more about the Earth and blah 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 blah. So it could be peaceful, or it could be the usual, which is the government. Which I think would happen is you got all these people who's talking about how I worked on alien technology or whatever and on these talk shows and whatnot. If the government was like, no, you can't talk about aliens, these people would just not. They would not be talking anymore because it'd be some SCP crap of applying some anesthetic, like amnesia drug from the SCP universe or whatever to make you forget everything. They'd be busting down doors of these studios and arresting everybody, and they would just magically disappear, or they just forget everything. Yeah. So, yeah, either way, no, aliens are not real. They're not real. And if they did, one of those two scenarios would work out. And either way, it would be some sort of actual knowledge of aliens. And because there isn't, no, aliens are not real. Again, do I think other life is out there? Yes. Do I think aliens are real? No. So the third thing being Bigfoot. And I kind of group Bigfoot and the Chupacabra together with this one. Because supposedly people claim, they're cryptids and blah, blah, blah. This one is obvious. People who, Bigfoot, Chupacabra, all those other cryptid type creatures are supposedly creatures that were seen and they're big and terrifying and highly dramatized. The most likely thing, you look at a lot of these Bigfoot hunting shows and whatnot, and they always claim, they always go out, they're hit trees with baseball bats and taking molds of supposedly Bigfoot's foot. There was Bigfoot here. Look at this Bigfoot imprint, or some bullcrap like that. It's false. Because they do it every single show, or almost every single episode. They do it. They somehow find at least one footprint, or three, or whatever. And if they do supposedly, even if they do supposedly show it on camera, that, look, holy crap, there's Bigfoot. That's stupidity. It's editing, or it's literally someone in a Bigfoot suit. Excuse me. A Bigfoot suit just running around. Yeah, and you always get those people who do their little background stories and how this is why I called y'all here today, because I was in my dining room and I looked out my window and I saw eyes staring back at me. This dude was freaking huge and terrifying. I would show these CGI graphics of what supposedly happens. Which again brings me to the point of either they're flat out lying, which I think is the most likely chance, or someone saw something, but they just weren't sure what it was, so they went to the whole rumors and whatnot of, it's Bigfoot, or it's this creature, or that creature. Same deal with the Chupacabra. Supposedly the Chupacabra is some sort of messed up looking dog or something like that, which got me thinking that I quite literally think it's just in the supposed legend of the Chupacabra. or whatever it is, some malformed dog-looking creature. I think it was quite literally just that. It's just maybe some beat-up, starving dog or something. People just dramatize it over legend because big and scary. But yeah. So now I'm gonna move on to the other conspiracy theory stuff. Some of it recent, like time travelers. This is obviously just absurd. People claiming, excuse me, goodness. People claiming to be conspiracy theory, or not conspiracy theory, sorry, time travelers. It's like, no, it wouldn't. Like, they always make these claims of, they went to the future, or they're from the future, and they know what's going to happen, follow them, give them money, blah, 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 all this stuff. A lot of it's just a scam. And like always, and usual with this paranormal and conspiracy theory crap, it's not true. They're just people trying to get attention. Like, and it's fairly obvious. People are like, oh, I'm from 2025. And, they say something that's just completely irrelevant and just does not fix. And it's like, no, that's not right. Or people who claim to be from, like, the past, especially. Like, no, that's not right. We know the history. We know what happened. You're just stupid. But yeah, there's not much on them. They're just attention seekers. Just nothing but attention seekers. Nothing but attention. That's all they want. So it leads to my final thing. Flat earthers. When it comes to conspiracy theories. I mean, if you've seen the crap they post, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen videos from, what was it, Professor Dave, beer professional, and debunker of frauders, and then Dr. Dave. Hold on, I could be getting those mixed up. It's Dr. Dave, beer professor, and debunker of frauders. And then Professor Dave explains. That's who they were. If you watch some of their videos... Oh, even another one. Schrodinger's cat. Sadly, he passed away. Rest in peace, Schrodinger. They do a lot of stuff on sovereign citizens and flat earthers and whatnot. And it just baffles me. These people go on about how we're right, we're never wrong. It's like, no, you very clearly are not always right, and you very much clearly are very much wrong. If you watch Professor Dave, Dr. Dave, Schrodinger's cat, if you watched any of their videos, you know what I'm talking about. But it's like, they always make these claims about how, they try to electromagnetism and all this other stupidity, and it's like, they just say absolute nonsense, and they try to claim science isn't real or some other stupidity. And with that, they also say stuff like the moon landing was faked and the International Space Station is not real. It's just pure stupidity. People so stuck up in their ignorance because they think they're something special that they believe that whatever they say is true by deluding themselves and others into believing that the crap that they spout is true when they know it's not. And rough quote from Markiplier. I think it was from Markiplier from Distractable. When they were talking about conspiracy theories. This is a rough quote. He said something along the lines that the issue with conspiracy theorists is they say they want to feel special or they want attention. So they try to, in a way delude themselves into believing something that is true when it very much is not true, making them feel special or feel, that they're getting the attention they want. However, they're literally just doing that just for that, just to supposedly feel special. So they create fake crap. They spout off about fake crap, make themselves seem special. End quote. Rough end quote. Which again is just like, if you are a believer in these conspiracy theory crap, I people who actually know this knowledge, who knows what's legit, know that, look, if you do believe in that conspiracy theory crap, good for you. We don't care. Especially when it comes to, a lot of this political conspiracy theories like QAnon, all the other ridiculous political crap going on, or that has happened. But it's like, yeah, it's just all ridiculous. People do it just to feel special and just to feel like they're a part of something, when it's just very much not true. Because again, a lot of stuff about conspiracy theories, not true. Which is again why I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I don't believe in paranormal. I understand what's true and what's not. Some people may not agree with me. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Just don't try to harass me and attack me with your nonsense just because I don't believe you. Because a lot of it is also, because if you don't supposedly believe someone, then they believe that you're in on it. You're in on the conspiracy theory or what have you, which is obviously stupid and not true. But yeah, if you believe in conspiracy theories and paranormal, more power to you. I don't. I don't believe in that crap. It's none of it's true. But if you feel like you want to get involved in that nonsense, go for it. All I ask is that you don't try to push it onto me. You don't try to push it on others forcibly. And you don't do anything stupid like try to hurt people to try to get them to believe into your stupid crap by trying to brainwash them or indoctrinate them or whatever have you. But anyways, so yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. I plan on making more excuse me, more videos soon. Yeah, I don't know how many videos I'm gonna make. I'm trying to do it more often, but I just don't know what. So I don't know if y'all could give me some ideas. That'd be awesome. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. If you want, you can like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And never forget, back to blue, y'all.